Okay, so welcome everybody. Um, this is some snap-on news I wanted to share with y'all, and hopefully this will be pretty decent. Now, the first thing I want to show you, me and Don Cheeto's, since he is now an admin, you want to know when the season ended. The full season 3 ended at January 1st, 2020, and that's if we ran all of the races until the schedule changes made. Now, you guys didn't get to see the schedules unless if you're drivers that are watching this and have Discord or remember the old schedule. For all you guys that are not drivers and not affiliated with Snap-on, you don't know the schedule. But I just want to share this with y'all. So with NASCAR Heat 4 coming up on September 10th and the 12th or 13th, we shortened the schedules except for dirt. Now, why do you see dirt on the screen? Because we made track changes. There was a doubleheader at Taggart coming up in starting 2 weeks, going into after Dreben, and then there was a doubleheader at Eldora after Richmond. And we changed that, as you can see right there, under the DeKalb 100 at Taggart. You can see the All-State ADK, which at Jefferson. Now that doubleheader was also named the DeKalb 100, but you don't really need to know that information. Well, that information's kind of outdated now. But yes, so Jefferson does have now 2 races. It's race 7 for the All-State ADK, and it's the Dynamo. Not Dynamo, I'm stupid. And then it goes to the Budweiser 75K at race 11 at Jefferson after the Mobile 100 at Eldora. So yes, so there is your dirt series update on the schedule. I'm gonna go pull up the truck series schedule, this is where it gets to the majors. Okay, so now with our truck schedule out, as you can see, we have 2 rounds. We have 2 races in each of the rounds. Now we had an original 23 race schedule. This ended up removing 3 races, so it's basically the equivalent of getting rid of 1 round. So it's a 20 race season. It's actually the longest. It doesn't end. It ends on October 7th. But it is one of the, it has the most races in its schedule. And the only reason why it ends October 7th instead of maybe like the next week is because of how many Mondays we have in like September. I think it's 5. So that's why. So as you can see, let me pull up the old schedule that is on my Discord. But as you can see, like we said, there is actually, instead of the normal 6-5-3 format, I actually messed up and did a 6-5-4-3 format for this series. Hopefully it doesn't do anything bad. I don't think it will. Hasn't now. But as we go into the old schedule for the Pennzoil Truck Series, the round of 6 had Talladega, Atlanta. No, had Kentucky, Martinsville, and Michigan. We ended up getting rid of Michigan because, first of all, we have 3 Michigan races, and second of all, it seemed like the first Michigan race didn't do so well, probably because of the lack of drivers that ended up racing Michigan. In the round of 5, it's Atlanta and Dover. The race we got rid of was Talladega, the Menards 200. So you will not see Talladega in the round of 5. But you will see in the round of 4, as we kept the Eldora Playoff Derby and the M&M's 130. Right? The M&M's 130 at Talladega. We got rid of the Maya 200 at Michigan. Once again, 3 Michigan races, and the first Michigan race had a lack of drivers. ISM is always going to be, so far this season, will always stay as the last track. Hopefully bring some variety to what Homestead did. Homestead last season Okay, so the past two, I'm gonna also say this right now. The past two races have not been, at the past two last races have not been great. At least for Cup. Xfinity was pretty decent, but we had a lack of drivers, especially the championship drivers, to the point where we had to sub-in drivers, especially Destroyer at the last minute in Season 1 for Landrod. And then in Season 2, we had a controversy with the last restart. Drivers thought we weren't going because Landrod decided to move his tee and cause a whole fucking wreck. Of course on turn 4 too, going to the fucking restart box. And everyone was saying that they were hearing don't go, but we had to go because there was 2 to go. Don Chios ended up winning both championships that season, so you know. We'll see the standings sooner or later, but yeah, we have some major changes to the truck schedule. Hopefully, we can get this done. The max of season 3 is probably late October with the Dirt Series, as we're gonna move those races over to the next day after Cup. So Tuesday after the final Cup race, that will be Dirt, and then I don't know. We'll probably skip a day and then go to Thursday, and then we'll probably do 2 dirt races per week so we can get the season done, and then move the Heat 4. Hopefully, that's not a gimme. So I'm gonna bring up Xfinity schedule, and yeah. Alright, so now we have Xfinity schedule up. As you can see, once again, instead of the 6-5-4-3 format, it's actually the 6-5-3 format. We went from 25 races to a total of 18 races. The second most raced, second schedule with the most races has 18, 2 less than truck, and yeah. So basically, as you could see, once again, the 6-5-3 format instead of the 6-5-4 format. Once again, like I said in the last discussing the truck series schedule, that was kind of not really what I wanted. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to our Xfinity schedule, not the old one. I had Don Cheetos actually do it. Championship 3 race, still the peak Andy Freeze 240 at ISM. Alright. And honestly, now we have the round of 6. The round of 6 originally was the Jeep 150 at Michigan, the Sticker 170 at Homestead, and the Sprite Cranberry 150 at Daytona night version. Nope. We got rid of the Jeep 150 at Michigan, mostly because if you watch the Chrysler 200, yeah, that was pretty much a shit show. And that's why we probably got rid of it. And now we go to the round of 5. We see the Nil Wafers 370 at Indy, which I won the Nintendo 390 there, and the Toyota 200 at Richmond. Last Richmond winner was the Sony 300 when I was Vern in this series. In that series, we took out Atlanta, the Texas Roadhouse 350. So, what this means is that's now also, due to the lack of races, I did make sure the guys have more of a chance to get at least in the chase, and including me. More chance. You see in the schedule, because last season we didn't do that into the final round, but this season the leader, B-Pool's lead was like 300 points in the Xfinity series. Now he's only up by 5 because of the playoff setting, and I had to reset points, so make sure everyone. And even then, if it was a 3 race for each round, I still would have done that. Hopefully, the last place guy does not, and soon to be 5th and 4th place guy in the round of 5, hopefully do not easily get eliminated. Because if they don't race, that's gonna be a big blow on them. Because this is only 2 races, so they have to mostly race every single playoff race if they are in. I'm gonna bring up Cup schedule. If you also hear notifications, that's because Vern's league is starting. Go subscribe to his channel. I'll put his channel in the description, hopefully, if I don't forget. And yeah. Okay, so now we have the cup schedule out. Up. Now, Dover was won by Beepool. Also, if the winners, those names next to the races, those are the winners of the race. As you can see, the new record of the 4 wins in a row that I set. Could have been 5, but you know, Dale Fenn had to wreck me and Beepool to get an accident. He was an accident. He said sorry, but you know that really blew my chances away because me and Beepool were racing hard and stuff. And I thought I got into him again for like the 2nd race in a row. But no, I actually really didn't. So, you know, because it was Dale Fan that hit my bumper. So, you know. So as you could see, in the round of 6, I actually changed the name from the Alsco 550 to the Alsco 550K. So, you'll see that in the stream in the bottom ticker this week. If you do watch, it says the Alsco 550K at the Roval. So the race we got rid of. Oh yeah, also 3 out of the 5 playoff races, counting the last round, are road courses. Imagine if the Glen was the last race. That would be amazing. But we go over to the original Cup schedule. In the round of 6, Richmond got taken out of the Volkswagen 180. That got taken out due to probably thinking that Bristol and Roval are better in at least competition. Heck, last season they were pretty decent, including that truck race this season at Bristol. In the round of 5, you see the Walmart 355K and the Quaker 245K at the Glen and Sonoma. Oh, Sonoma at the Glen. Bleh. I don't even know. So basically, in between those road courses were a break and an intermediate track. It was Chicagoland. It was for the, I think it was the Tropicana? No, the Marathon 300. We took that race out due to the road courses being pretty high intense, especially when they were on playoff time. Sonoma, we raced in Season 1, and that was the last time I believe we had a road course in the playoffs for Cup. Unless the Glen was... I think actually the Glen last season was in... No, I think... I can't remember. But, yeah. To my knowledge, the Sonoma was the last race in the playoffs as a road course. Because I think the Glen was like 2 races from it. And then the Roval was the race before the playoffs started. So, there's that. So, Sonoma and the Quaker 245K. I said the Sonoma. I meant the Walmart 350K at Sonoma and the Quaker 245K at the Glen. And then we had the Snap-on 280 at ISM. Hopefully that race also goes well. The Cup race went pretty decent there. It actually went pretty exciting in those last few laps. If we can have the same treatment as we did there, then we'll be set. And hopefully, now time to show you. I'll show you dirt points, and then I'll show you truck, and then Xfinity and Cup. So it goes up. All right. All right. So now we have the Dirt Series playoffs. You see the Dirt Series playoffs up right now. As you can see, LNR is pulling away with this after his getting a dominating start, 2 wins after back-to-back, doing it for the first time in his career. But has not won since the Coke 100. But Dreven's coming up. He's pretty good at Dreven this week. Hopefully, he probably wins. As you can see, he has 4 playoff points, 2 wins, 165 points. He's 105 above the cut line, so he's actually pretty set so far. Below him is Tom, 107 points there after him not making it. So he must have like 97 then. But yeah. Unless if I got that wrong, unless if I forgot to put Dave and not Dave atop Nap because he had a... I don't know. I'm not going to think about it now. He's 47 ahead. Dave is 45 ahead. Napa's 47 ahead, so they're doing pretty good. Don Cheeto's winning, your winner at Texas. Josh, after his 4th place finish, 0. They're both tied. And he said he's good at and Josh said he's good at Jefferson. So if he can do good at Jefferson coming up in this week plus 2 more weeks, then he be set. He might, but he's got to do good in that Dream and Tackett race. Now you see me in 7th place after my win at Texas. I should actually be in 6th because my tiebreaker, but you know, it's completely fine. I'm gonna try not to make that mistake again. But as you see, yes, I am in 7th after my pretty good fought battle for like the last 13 laps at oh, this was Texas. That means Don must have won Las Vegas then. So yeah, Jam is 8th. Destroyer hasn't raced since Eldora, so he's 9th. Big Confetti is 10th. After not racing since Eldora as well. Chevy, and he's 11th. He has a 3-race suspension from dirt since his incident happened on dirt. He's got a 3-race suspension there. Also, as you could see, he's finally back, boys. Vernon Thomas W. He's finally back to get shit done. Maybe not in dirt, but he's back to race. He won't race the truck series on Monday. He'll probably help me commentate, he said, but he will not. What is it? But he will race Tuesday. It was a pretty good welcoming ovation by the drivers when he came back. At least by some of them. Speaking directly to you, Tom. But like, yeah, pretty much it's been. I think it's going to be going pretty good for Vern, but he said he's not really good at dirt. He usually says. Now the one to watch out, I'm going to say for here, is Don Cheetos. He is the best at dirt, besides Eleanor. And maybe even me and Dave. I mean, Tom's pretty good at dirt, but he didn't race last week, so fortunately that kind of happened. But, yeah, Dave hopefully does pretty fine. He's usually consistent to get those top 3s and 4s. Also, remember the rivalry between Chevy and Dave is probably not going to end even after his 3-race suspension. As you didn't see, but I saw from Dave's video that Chevy just drove Dave into the wall. Dave got him for retaliation, and then Chevy wrecked intentionally Dave. Now, also, there was some controversy with the penalty I called, mostly because of what LNR had, because he tried to wreck Dave at ISM Truck. Now, I'm going to get this straight. If you have an asphalt penalty, you'll get that penalty in that series now. Instead of all series, it will be in that series, unless if it is severe enough. So, okay. So basically what I'm going to do is that for dirt, if you wreck somebody, you get a 3-race suspension from dirt. And then you get put on probation, you get put on behavioral. No, never mind, just scratch that out. Basically, if you wreck somebody in an asphalt race, you get, intentionally, you'll get suspended 3 races in that one series, but you'll be put on wrecking probation in the next 2. And dirt. And dirt is practically the same thing. So yeah, only put up truck standings now. Alright, so we now have truck points up. As you see, oh wait, hold on a minute, I think I'm gonna sneeze. No, not really, okay, never mind. I was about to mute my mic so you wouldn't hear that. But now as you can see, here are the truck points. In the yellow / goldish, you see the playoff drivers, and you see in the margins. Now, if you see the margins in gold, that means they're safe. If they're in black, they're not. So, your playoff drivers are Josh, Tom, which is Napa, beat Poor Awesome, Kevin, and Big Confetti. Don Cheetos, after his third place finish and stage win in stage 2 and second place in stage 1, he moved his way all the way up from, I want to say, 12th to now 8th. But there's no way he making playoffs. He ain't making playoffs, unfortunately. Obviously, because playoffs has already started. Now, there's no margin in between 7th and 14th because they don't really need them anymore. But as you can see, they still have their margins to the leader. Why, I honestly do not know. But yeah. Wait. Okay, never mind. Sorry for that, but shit. I'm trying to not sneeze here. But yeah, Josh is leading the point standings with 1,410 points. As you see, as this is what I'm talking about. The margins. Josh was ahead of Tom by around 170 some odd points going into Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire ends. Now he's going down by 5. Why? Because points somewhat reset, but they but the leader gets to keep his lead. So so they're not all tied. So Josh is 25 points out of the cutoff. He's doing pretty fine. Tom, 20 points out of the cutoff. He's doing pretty fine. Josh has also not won since Gateway. So, and he's also not been doing really well. He's been on a slump, really finishing below maybe 5th place where you can get 20 points. I mean, he finished 6th, even with a 3-second time penalty at Canadian Tire. So, you know, Mel was one of his good tracks. Now we're going to, I think, what did I say? Kentucky. Hopefully he does good there tomorrow. Now you got B-Pool in 3rd. This is the guy you really need to watch out for, B-Pool right here. He has 6 wins in the Xfinity Series. I think. I might have gotten that wrong because I know he didn't. No, he has 5 wins. He still has 5 wins in the Xfinity Series, a win in the Truck, and 2 wins in Cup. He just won Dover last week, trying to gain some momentum going into the playoffs, and you have now him looking like a severe threat anywhere. But Dirt, I don't know. He said he was going to run the 00, but he didn't run it at Texas. So, you know, I don't know how he does on Dirt, but yeah, he's really good on asphalt. And he's 15 points ahead of the cutoff due to the points somewhat reset at 1,400. But I'm telling you, this is a guy you really need to watch out for. Awesome and Kevin. Anytime with Big Confetti race, and those two don't, Big Confetti can just take that fourth position right there, bump Awesome down to 5th. And Kevin's also back after having his controller broke. So, you know, so Kevin could also possibly race and gain his points margin, even if it's not good finishes. He just gotta hope that Big Confetti does not race and push him out. Come in. Okay. So there's that. I also probably watch out for Tom too. He's been doing pretty decent, and yeah. And we'll go ahead and get Cup points up and ready. Okay, so now we have Xfinity points out. If I say Cup points, I meant Xfinity points in the when I was showing you guys the truck points. But now we have this. This right here is your Xfinity points. Okay, good. I didn't put 6 wins because it doesn't have it yet. The record, just let you know, the record for most Xfinity wins is held by Don Cheetos at 8. Beatpool is so far the closest to come to it. He's passed my at least 2nd place I had. I had 4 wins, I believe, last season. How? I won Daytona, and then I won and I clutched up in playoffs until Homestead. But yeah, basically, Beatpool has, I believe, the record of a most margin towards from second, the biggest gap from 2nd place, and that's around like 300 some odd points. So I think I even passed my record back in season 1, 2, as when I had like a 200 point gap. But anyway, going to the standings, you can see Awesome in the playoffs again, for Xfinity. He's 6th. He's in the 6th seed. He's out by 5. Big Confetti, he's now 5th. He's up by 5. Nat Tom is in 4th, up by 10. I am up by 15 in 3rd. Vern, who has been getting filled in by It's Truly Chevy _YT for the whole for everything. That's been updated. He's going the race, the Xfinity race. He's up by 20, and he's down by 5 to Beatpool. These two in the early season had a great battle for the points lead until once Vernon started slipping and wasn't concentrating anymore because he was just he said he was just complaining, but you know, hopefully he returns to that early season form, starts winning. I want to say after he talked a lot about getting 3 wins in a row from Dover and then getting that bad place finish, I think it was like 8th maybe. I think that's what dropped his performance. He did win Cup. He did win Cup Atlanta, I believe, like a couple weeks later. If not, then I was doing his good part of the season. He almost won Bristol, but a late caution came out. He almost won Martinsville, but his dad called him. He had to quit the race. So yeah, he's not won since I want to say when he got 2 wins in a row. So yeah, with him coming back, coming on a clean slate, and also getting some momentum from his own league, I want to say that he's going to be a big championship threat. Not saying that Beatpool isn't. Beatpool has been dominant this series. He's been winning. He's been a contender to win each and out. He would have won ISM if Tom didn't block him, unfortunately. But he has the potential of maybe stealing this championship away. I also have the potential to steal this championship away, but I wouldn't. I'd give myself to the round of 5 in this series. I have not been that consistent in this series. I'd say for a prediction of the round of 3 in Xfinity, I give Beatpool, Vernon, and I want to say I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna say Big Confetti. Big Confetti has been doing really consistent up in the points, up when he needs to be. He led a lot of laps and won a stage and ISM last week. And I think it can continue. Hopefully it does. So, I want to say Awesome gets eliminated in the first round, and then me and Tom get eliminated in the second round. So and I want to say a champion. I want to say your champion's going to be Beatpool, because he's just been dominant all season. He's really good at Homestead and Xfinity, but he's mostly good in Cup. Burn's pretty good at Xfinity too, in Xfinity Homestead, but, you know, for his first snap-on win, he beat Season 2 champion at Homestead, Don Cheetos. So I think Burn can keep the momentum going. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna predict Beatpool to be champion. Now I know I didn't say this, and Chuck should have probably, but I'm gonna predict Tom to be a truck champion because he's been doing pretty decent. But he has a rivalry with Josh and all of that. I don't know. But I want to say, but with the performance of Tom, as long as he can hold off Beatpool, because Beatpool is my final 3 predictions: Josh, Tom, and Beatpool. But if Tom can hold off Beatpool at ISM, I think it will be set. But from what Beatpool performed at ISM like 2 weeks ago in truck, I think Beatpool might have a greater chance. But I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna say Tom wins the truck championship. Now let's go over to Cup points. Alright, so now you're seeing the last part of this video. It's Cup. I am leading Cup points, but only by a few. Only by 5. It was, if we didn't have margins that were automatically set, I would have been up by 3 actually, but if margins automatically set, I'm up by 5. Now, I've been doing pretty good. I have not won since Homestead, though. I did pretty good at Auto Club, got a 3rd place finish there, but then got I want to say another 3rd place finish at Dover. And we're going to, I forgot. But, I think I have a severe chance of making the round of 3. This is the time where I could make the round of 3, but I don't know. You know, it can be where I could freaking wreck at a Talladega race or Daytona and ruin my chances At no, that's Xfinity. We raced Daytona. I think Talladega. I'm not too sure though. But yeah. From the past races though, Beeple has been showing some dominance. Winning basically everything but the pole at Dover. Don won the pole at Dover, and he's been doing pretty fine. But Beeple on the other hand though, he's barely getting some momentum, and that's what's probably gonna do it. That's what's probably gonna get him the championship here, because that is my prediction win championship. That's Beeple again. But I think I can come another close second for the second time in a row. And I don't know. OKC has also been showing, as you see him in 4th, 10 above the cutoff, he's been showing some promise. I want to say OKC will make the final 3. But I don't think he will get up. I don't think he'll win a championship, though. I really don't think OKC will win the championship due to probably inconsistency. I mean, he got maybe like a top 5, maybe even less, but he's at Dover. But he has been showing some promise. In the truck race, he was leading a few laps at Canadian Tire until I passed him. At Xfinity, no, he didn't race Xfinity, but Cup, he was very consistent until the last part of the race where all his cautions came out. He was primarily running 2nd or 3rd, but and then you have someone like Josh who has got his first Cup win over and since Chicagoland, and just I don't think Josh is gonna make it out this first round, probably because with Tom right behind him and this Cup playoffs being stacked with drivers that always have a chance. I forgot to get rid of Crocodile's playoff points. He should be at 161 actually. So that is my fault right there. I will get rid of them after this video is over. But I think Josh will not make it out of the first round. We have Tom, OKC, Vernon, Beeple, and me in there. That is a fairly stacked lineup of drivers in the playoffs for Cup. And with with Josh though, I don't think his talent matches up. He might be able to barely edge out Tom, but if he does, he's not making it past the second round then. Because with his talent and what he's showing in the truck series, it doesn't seem like it. He's not been doing good in the truck. His lead was actually really diminishing once truck started. Once he got back from his account, but he's just been, he's not been doing that well, and I don't feel like he's gonna be doing that well in Cup either. I mean, I think he did end up racing Xfinity, Cup, Dover, and I don't think he did pretty well. So, but Tom on the other hand, I mean, as long as he doesn't get himself into trouble, he should be fine for making it the second round. Tom should be, as long as he is consistent enough, he should be fine making it to the second round. Josh, I just don't see making the round of 5, and if he does make the round of 5, I really don't see him making the round of 3 with all his talent. With all his talent in this lineup. OKC can be now we go to OKC, he can be he can possibly be an upsetter. You got Vern, who's been doing pretty well in his league. He's been doing pretty well. And I think that might get him confidence and some momentum going on in my league and going in Tuesday, maybe with a win. But, I just somewhat see OKC taking in that 3rd spot from Vernon. Obviously, me and Beeple, obviously, they seem more like they're gonna make it because of how they're performing. Now, 3rd place, like I said, that is between Tom. To my prediction, it's gonna be between Tom, OKC, and Vern. I don't think Tom's gonna have enough of the consistency that he has to make it in the final three. And OKC and Byrne, I don't know. He's coming back after a slump he had for so long. I don't know if he'll be able to recover, even with what he's doing in his league. I don't know if he'll be able to recover or not. But OKC, what he's been doing, pretty consistent through the entirety of the race. As long as he doesn't choke up on the last race, or doesn't get into trouble on the last part of the race, I should say. I could clearly see this final three being me, Beat Pool, and OKC. And I really do think that OKC can make it. But Byrne, he said he was going to go back to his early season form, and we never know. Maybe he could. Maybe if he does get an Xfinity win, or does get an Xfinity, maybe that can carry over into the first of two races in the round of 6, and then maybe even the round of 5. But he's coming off a slump, and that's why I think OKC is going to take the 3rd spot. Now, Vernon has been very good on making comebacks. I mean, heck, Texas in his league last night, he came back from a lap down due to cautions and won the race from me, so you know. But, like, I'm just going to say this right now. From the slump he had and how long it was, and with OKC doing very consistent until the last part of the stage, I feel like OKC can barely edge out Vern. And then he would have a chance at winning the championship with no wins, might I add you. Because in the championship, they're all tied. So, like, yeah. Hopefully, you guys took this as your snap-on news, and at least from the screenshots. And hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day. Truck Series tomorrow at Kentucky, and I will see you guys tomorrow for that race commentating.